Barbershop Talk Podcast. I'm your man Cat. And in the building, you know, I got the regulars with me. You know what I'm saying? Came back for another week. You know what I'm saying? Got my man Al, Mr. Flat Earth. What's going on, bro?
Yeah, baby, you know, just another week, baby. It's nothing new.
My man X Dot in the building. You know what I'm saying? What's going on with you, man?
Still sipping something, keeping the cup
just
full.
Cooling, just cooling. We got Miss Shy over there to say, you gonna say hi to the camera? I know you shy and all that. Say what's up. My man Willie P, aka Low Key co-host.
You already know, man.
My popular
man.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, we got someone special stop by the shop. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's usually a sausage festival in here, but we got the
taking over the building.
We got the hustler in heels in the building. Miss China L, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. How you doing?
Hey.
Oh, we good. I'm glad you stopped by.
Thank you for having me.
Mrs. She's an author, a publisher, got fashion design. Like you work with children. Like you doing a lot. What you doing?
I'm doing a little bit of everything.
So,
the name speaks for itself. Like you can never have too many hustles. Like literally.
So yeah, you hustling hell.
Yeah,
we had that discussion. A couple of us, you know, we experienced a couple of the hustles, but Ambitious Inc.
Yeah.
What exactly is Ambitious Inc?
Okay, so Ambitious Inc. is a little bit of everything. Like you said, I got the t-shirts, I got the books, and by books I mean my books. I got 2 authors signed underneath me that each have, one has 4 books, a 5th on the way, another one has 1 book and 1 on the way. Then I have 2 authors signed in Atlanta, and then a couple of people that's waiting to see whether or not they can make it.
Hold on, I'm gonna need you to not be humble while you talking. You wild humble right now, bro. Like you saying some ill shit.
You know
Stop being humble, son.
You know what? You gotta be. You literally have to be humble, because if not, it could really go to your head. If I really sat here and put it out there how fast all this happened, because it really has only been a year.
Only been a year. You got all of this. You got books. You have like authors signed to your publishing company. All of that in a year.
My publishing company turned 1 on March 24th.
How does this happen? You like legit started a freaking publishing company in a year. Like
yeah, you gotta really want it. And I know that sounds cliche, but you really have to want it. I am the type of person that's not supposed to work for other people.
Alright, I dig it.
So
I dig it.
my first book, if you notice, which I'm pretty sure you didn't, if you notice, the first book says Grand Pens Publication, because I got signed to a bigger publishing company first, and I pay attention. So I noticed from the very first book, like this whole me writing a book and somebody else taking a percentage thing, that's not gonna work for me.
Yeah.
So by the time I finished the first book, which I published in November 2017, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna fulfill my contract, which was 3 books or 7 years, and then I'm gonna just do it on my own.
Yeah.
And my publisher back then, you know, no shade to her, she's doing her, I'm doing me, was like, yeah, right, like you can't do that, like you need me, you don't have a fan base, nobody knows who you are, like you're just gonna go and put a book out, nobody's gonna read it, they don't know your name. I was like, okay, that's fine, like whatever. And I just started teaching myself how to do covers, teaching myself how to do editing, teaching myself how to make flyers, teaching myself how to make business cards. Second book came out, okay, I'm getting my fan base, because she's a big publishing company, so people are starting to know, like, okay, she got a new author, she's kind of hot, like, all right, that's fine, follow me over here,
Exactly.
By the 3rd book, I'm like, okay. By the 3rd book, I had already did my business license, because I was like, I'm dead serious. When I finish this 3rd book, I'm done. 3rd book came out in May of 2017. Yeah, first book 2016. Yeah, May of 2017. March 24th. Again, I told you that's when I got the company started. So I already had it. I just had to be on a hush about it because I had to fulfill my contract. By May, the 3rd book came out. 2 weeks after the 3rd book came out, I was like, so about that contract. We good, right? And she was like, well, you finished your series, so I guess we're good. First week of June, I was like, here's my publishing company, everybody. Oh, and by the way, here's my author, and her book comes out in 2 weeks.
Because at the end of the day, like I couldn't tell you one person who got rich off of working the 9 to 5. You always gotta have your own hustle, and you use that 9 to 5 to finance your hustle.
Right.
So, like, I love what you're doing, but I can't get over this ambitious of a savage shit, right? the savage shit is getting to me. You know what I'm saying? So we live in a savage era. So, but before I get into that, what's your, and I want everybody's definition too, but we start off with China. What's your definition of a savage?
All right, so for me, it varies because I think when people get confused with the word savage, there's a big difference between being savage and being stupid.
Okay.
And that's where people misconstrue the word. They, you know, it has to be the reason behind it. So you can go out here and do some wild, crazy shit, and you'll be like, "Oh, that was savage." But if there was really no real reason why I did it, it was stupid. It wasn't savage.
Okay.
So for me, like I said, it goes back to the reason. Somebody who's willing to go above and beyond and do something that other people wouldn't do, and step out and do out of the ordinary. For me, that's some savage shit. Like, that's savage.
Okay.
But if you're doing it for some dumb reason, that's just being stupid. That's not being savage. And you gotta have enough sense to be able to tell the difference between the two. Everybody out here, oh, I'm savage. Like, nah, you're stupid. You're stupid. You're not a savage. You're a dummy. There's a difference.
Now, I had to ask, because I know the word savage could be misconstrued, because to be honest, like, I had a different mindset when it comes to savage. Savage can mean a lot, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's their definition of savage. That's why I wanted to see it. Because when I think of savage, I think of, like, Rihanna taking a certain lifestyle and naming it savage and making that shit cool. So now, like, women are like, what used to be called something negative and shit, you put the word savage on it, and it's like, okay, everything's just squeaky clean. Yo, P, I know you dealt with some savages, my nigga.
Oh,
Talk
yeah,
about the savages. What's a savage to you, bro? What's a savage to you?
Yo, a savage is basically somebody who just don't give a fuck about somebody else's emotions. Like, they just don't give a fuck.
Solid answer.
You sound
That
sounds like a victim.
And we
We've all been there. But that also turns us into savages too.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Mr. Flat Earth, what's the Flat Earth version of being a savage?
A savage is a person who's like he was saying about the emotions. Doesn't give a fuck about anybody else's emotions, but it's because you have a certain ambition for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You got a ill mindset, a goal for yourself, and you can care about his problem, you know what I'm saying, but you're not gonna take it in, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be a savage and keep it moving. You're gonna consider his problem, but then be like, yo, I gotta be a savage and keep it pushing. I can't stay with your problem, you know what I'm saying? I'm a savage.
Yeah, nah, fact. Okay, so I say all that to say this. I feel like, would y'all agree, we live in the savage era? This is a savage era, right? Alright, without asking everybody's age, I'm just gonna assume everybody's 28 plus in here, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So, I bring that up because I be feeling like, damn, I was born in the 80s, I should have been born in the 60s or some shit. Because I'm not built for this era. When I say that, I'm saying this. When I was younger, I got to see the older people enjoy love, like real love. Like, of course they had their issues and shit, but they was dealing with love. Like, even like R&B music, right? That shit don't exist no more. R&B music is straight rap now. Like, straight, like, everybody who's rapping is singing, everybody who's singing is rapping. You can't tell the difference. You know what I'm saying? So, like, R&B, to me, you had niggas like Jodeci, who will give you a smooth savage, right? You know what I'm saying? Because that music was savage, but it was smooth. Like, you can make love, make babies to it. Who's fucking the love songs no more? And what love songs out there are there to fuck to? You know what I'm saying?
I was just playing savage.
That's just playing savage.
Ain't no smoothness to it.
No,
It's straight. You just listen to it like, damn, that shit was savage. Like,
it's like 2 Chainz said, pretty girls like trap music, right? You know what I'm saying? So if I was to try to put a young chick on to some Jodeci, they probably think like, yo, what the fuck is up with this nigga?
Right.
So that's the male perspective, right? As a woman who experienced, we wasn't old in the 90s, but you seen how it was in the 90s. You seen what it was to be in love. You seen, you know, the leaving messages on the phone, you know, putting love songs on your answer machine when you're in love. You witnessed that.
Right.
Now there's no such thing as that. So how is it for a woman to adjust to the savagery of this era? Like,
the sad part about that is I feel like the women are the savages.
I know.
There's no adjusting for me. I mean, you should be asking anybody I dealt with, how was it for them adjusting the roles reversing?
Okay, so cool. So you were savage. All right,
I have been told.
You were savage. So because I asked, because it's like I would assume, like, for some women, you know what? I'm fucked up in the game, because you're right. Like, y'all are way more male than us. Like, we're bitches now. Like, niggas is dumb soft. Like, when my niggas be calling me, talking about, yeah, yo, this chick, whatever, going through, I'm like, yo, what happened, my nigga? So I went through a phone, right? I'm like, oh, my nigga. That story. I don't want to hear about it.
Why you think that though, bro? Why you think a lot of us men are soft nowadays though?
Soft? Hold on. This is where we gotta stop. Because that's what you just said.
Yeah. So why do you think that though?
Because I think that because there's niggas, because at a certain time, and I'm not saying I'm soft, I'm not that nigga. I never in my life went through a woman's phone. I never in my life. I put that every day I love. Never picked up a woman's phone and went through to look at her text messages, because I respect privacy and I want you to respect mine. I treat those how I want to be treated. But the reason why I think niggas is soft and I think the women change is because it was all about what you could do, how G you was. What you could get it, how you could get a woman, what you could get her to do for you, right? Mm-hmm. But then once we got to high school and niggas like Lil Wayne got into the picture, it went from never trick on a chick to it ain't tricking if you got it. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then it goes to long as my bitches love me. And then it goes to, so I'm saying, like, the younger kids, they only know tricking. They only know the trick era. You know what I'm saying? They only know, like, being a fool. Like, I have friends who will call me and tell me, like, yo, this nigga's a clown, bought my TV. Or, you know what I mean, I won't go on a date with him. I'm like, yo, these niggas is tricking and not even smelling the pussy. Mm-hmm. So it's like, yo, that's a whole different part of the game. So I think that they didn't have L niggas to look up to like we did. They have all these trick niggas, these niggas that believe, because all the niggas that's lit right now, their BM is probably a stripper. No disrespect to the strippers, but what I'm saying is these strippers be finessing the lanes. You know what I'm saying? Black China's out here. She got her own business. Finessing everybody, my nigga. She finessed every lane in the game. You know what I'm saying? So it's like niggas just turned themselves into tricks. And that's why I feel like niggas done got soft, because not the leaders, but the people who's on top, they made the whole tricking shit, you know, more cool, respectable. They made it respectable.
Yeah, that's why it's time for niggas like us. You know what I'm saying, that recognize shit. You know what I'm saying, to start to influence the young. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Show them how to be romantic. You know what I'm saying? Talk about it. Talk about the old days. You know what I'm saying? And bring back that feeling so that they could try to mimic it later on.
This world is way too savagery for all that.
Hey, no, but you know what? You gotta try. You know what I'm saying? Because if you ain't, like I say to like all my nephews, if you ain't trying, you dying. You know what I'm saying? No bullshit. So you gotta try, no matter what. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even if the world's fucked up, you ain't gotta act like it. You know what I'm saying? Act like the world's gonna get better, and it actually will get better. You know what I'm saying? No bullshit.
Nah, that's a fact. I wanted to get into something about savagery and entitlement. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I didn't watch this movie, but it's a Tyler Perry movie out called ACRIMONY. Mm-hmm. So I'm listening to a podcast and they talking about basically the plot of the whole situation. So the plot, and I might be wrong for the people who's watching it, but I just want to talk about the situation. So, what's her name? Taraji. She's married to a dude in a movie or whatever. She's married to a dude. Her mom's died or something. She inherits mad money. Her husband is like trying to fucking, he got like an invention or something like that. Mm-hmm. She gives him the money from her inheritance to jumpstart the invention. Things are going slow. They losing money more than they making money. Mm-hmm. He got offers for like $800,000 to purchase for someone to purchase the invention. He was like, nope, if you're gonna offer me that, I could get more or whatever. So, long story short, things got bad to the point where they started losing money and everything. Taraji's friends got in the head, she divorced homie. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Shortly after she divorces homie, the shit blows up.
Of course.
Makes mad money. He goes to her, breaks her off, gives her like a $10 million check. I could be wrong. I don't know. I never watched it. I haven't watched a Tyler Perry movie since he was on stage. I don't fuck with that nigga. But but he gives Taraji like the check, gives her what he basically owes her. Cool, we good. But everything else he promised as part of the marriage, that lifestyle and everything, he's giving to somebody else, and she's supposed to watch that. So now she takes matters in her own hands. I don't know if she's killing people or whatever, but yeah, she's fucking shit up. She's fucking shit up. Yeah, because she's feeling like, yo, is she entitled though? Is she entitled? If
those is mad, and she got her check back, and she's still active.
Yeah,
it's hard being a nigga. All I heard tonight. So far it was hard being a nigga. Like, yo, females are savages now. This nigga gotta deal with a shorty.
Niggas is soft.
So there's no entitlement.
Yo, nigga said she's on the sideline. She had to watch that. Nigga, watch what? Bitch, you left me.
Right, because of your friends.
Change the fucking
Because of your friends. Because you wanted to listen to your friends. You see what I'm saying? Like,
watch.
you listen to your friends' advice. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
but hear me out. I'm gonna play devil's advocate though. Okay, so yeah, she gave him the money to jumpstart the business, right? Does that make her part owner? Does it? Because she's funded the shit.
Up until she received the check. Now, if she received that payment and intention knowing that that's her buyout, she ain't a part of shit. Now, if that was just her get back and she's still with the company, that's something else. But I don't know if that's their whole thing. But I'm just saying, on some old loving shit, bitch, I don't know you shit. You left me. This is what it is. Like, unless you about to do the threesome thing. Let's get in. Fucking and loving.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I can understand what everybody's thinking, because I'm thinking the same thing. It's the death to his part. Once you give up on me, then you gave up on everything.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, if the niggas had no money and you gave the nigga bread and he doesn't start that business without your money, you should be part owner of that shit. So it's more than just a one-time payment.
That's what she fucked up though. Because as a hustler in heels, she needed to do that right or wrong, husband or wife. Like, she needed to do that as a business move.
Okay,
where she could have had residual income, whether it went good or bad, 10 years, 20 years. I'm all about my business. I don't give a damn if we sleeping next to each other every night. Okay. If I give you money, that is a loan. That is a business move for me. Yeah. I do what? When my mother borrows money from me, I charge her 10% if she late. Yeah. I don't play. And that's why my mother fucks with me. She be like, you know you're going to get your money back from me because I know your little 10%. Like, I love you, Mom, but this is business. So that's what she fucked up.
So peep this, China. You in the same situation. Not in real life.
Okay.
Hypothetically.
Okay.
You in the same situation. You married to somebody.
Yeah.
Both of y'all not doing well, but you know, God forbid your mom's passed, she leave you some bread, and you give all of that bread to him.
Wrong.
So you don't even do that.
I loan all of that bread to him. I cover
This is your husband.
That's my. Guess what?
What's mine is ours.
Not necessarily. Ain't nothing definite. Tomorrow ain't promised.
So what's the point of getting married then?
Because at the end of the day, business is business. Now it's one thing if he come to me and say,
No.
I'm
Business is business when it's with other people, but marriage.
Listen, that's your invention.
Different.
I'm not investing in some shit, especially if I don't play no part in it. If we can't be business partners and do business together, first of all, I'm not marrying nobody. I feel like we can't separate that.
Okay.
Because I'm just business oriented.
So when you're married to somebody, you are willing
separate.
So you can really do business with your husband.
I really
in the
could.
business. So y'all got separate bank accounts and everything.
No. Now see, that's different.
Okay.
We can have separate business accounts because his business is not necessarily my business.
So, but you know, business fucks up friendships.
Not for me. Because for me it's hit or miss. There's no gray areas. That's Leo shit. I'm sure you can relate.
Yeah, I believe.
I know. I do my research. You're the 5th. I'm the 4th. So I'm sure there's no gray area with me. And if I feel like we can't do that, then that speaks volumes. Then we just won't do it. That's fine. I can love you and we don't do business.
But here's what this is what I'm trying to understand though. This is your husband, right?
Love him to death.
So it's like when you marry somebody, it's like their blood.
Yeah.
So it's like your blood sister or your blood cousin so it's like this is whose mine is ours. So it's like, to me, marriage is a team. If I was to get married, that means that everything that I ever own, I'm willing. Only reason why I'm signing that paper is because I'm trusting you with all the shit that I got that I'm bringing to the table, and vice versa.
Right.
So that means when my mom died and inherited some shit, our mom died and inherited some shit.
Right.
So I'm not looking at it as a loan. I'm looking at it as like, baby, like what we doing with our money? You know what I'm saying? Like, are we gonna invest our money into our business?
And that's why that crazy bitch gonna be outside. Because you're thinking like that. That's why you're thinking like that.
I'm speaking as Taraji though, so that's Taraji.
No, poor girl. That's her ticket.
So she fucked up business.
You know what? Because if you was gonna do all that, I love you, then you shouldn't have been expecting nothing.
Okay, but
whether it went good or bad, you shouldn't have. There should have been no expectations.
So extra money on the divorce too. Let's not forget that.
That's what I'm saying. See? But I want to get to the bottom of this.
It's a no for me.
Look, you with your husband. This is my last question. You with your husband, because I need to know. I need to know if you really that savage.
I was about to say, I'm a savage.
You want some real savage shit. You laid up in bed with your husband. He's telling you the invention idea.
That's amazing.
And our mom just died. She gave you a couple $1 million. Baby, are we gonna invest that? Or are you gonna say, no, hold on, our mom didn't die, my mom died, I will loan you the money. How do you loan your husband money? How is that possible?
This same way I loan my mama.
It's not your husband then. That's your homie.
I agree with everything she said because people change. You never know what's gonna happen. You have to look out for yourself in the end. So if I get all that money, I'm not gonna give him all that money. You crazy? I will loan you some money, and you better bring me back some more money. Like we'll work together as a team. But in the end, I'm gonna look out for myself.
Okay, so I love it. This is why I love it. Because this is the fucking savage era that we living in. Marriage is different now, and y'all proved it. Because back in the day, when you married, what's yours is mine, what's mine is yours. It's till death do us part. So we are one. We went as being separate beings to being one being. We're one entity. You know what I'm saying? So back in the day, it's no such thing as loaning your husband or loaning your wife money. It's like, no, like this is ours. Take what you need. But it's like now we live in an era where y'all are really talking about loaning your husband money.
Like, how'd you think we got there? Nigga, it was cause those old faithful hoes was loaning niggas their money.
We fucked it up.
And we
fucked it up.
So don't overlook.
No, we fucked it up.
Now their mothers. The school to like, nigga, fuck these niggas.
Right.
Go out there and get it.
So we created savages.
Oh, believe me. And now niggas is looking confused like, well, shit, I can't use that old school game no more. The game's real. So if I'm saying we created this monster, realize that niggas created this beast.
I can agree with that. We fucked up. We definitely fucked up. I can agree with that.
It was a good era.
It was a great era. We did create. I can agree with that. We kind of created savages. Even like in our era, we kind of created savages because the shit that we've done in the past is like, how many times is anybody, not a male or female, anybody, any gender, how many times are you gonna take the same shit from different people before you adjust?
Right.
Like it's all about what's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah.
It's evolution. Women evolved into savages and we evolved into bitches.
No. You keep saying that.
No, we did. Because I listen to my, like, not my niggas, but niggas in general. You go on the YouTube, you go on the internet, just the situations that you see nowadays. It's like, are you serious? My nigga Safari is a thot. Back in the day, all we knew was women who just, you just know her from being like an Amber Rose. Safari is the male Amber Rose. We know him because he dealt with a superstar.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And when he was dealing with the superstar, she was on some like, that's my hype man, my nigga. They taking pictures. Look at all their pictures, right? She's hugged up with a celebrity. He's right behind him like this. You know what I'm saying? So, and now, you know what I'm saying? Now he's famous, just like Amber Rose is famous, just like Kim Kardashian is famous. Yeah, like once you in the game, you in the game. So that explains the evolution. Niggas is thoughts now. I want to bring real shit back. I want to bring being a team back. And I feel like with this savage era, like we're just going so far away from each other. Women is on some I don't need a nigga for shit. And men is on some like, men is bitches. Men is bitches. Men are fucking bitches. Like, I'm so disgraced in the way, and all of our leaders, everybody who's representing us in the culture, I'm disgraced, my nigga. Niggas is bitches. So my thing, I just want to bring everything back. You know what I'm saying? Bring it back to where we need each other. Man, we got to acknowledge my man Big Dave in the building. You know what I mean? Stop by. Yeah. What's good with you, D?
I'm chilling, man. You know, I gotta come show my guys love, man. I was in the area, so I stopped by, you know.
Yeah, tuning in. My nigga D regular, you officially a regular, you know what I'm saying? Stopping by the shop, we definitely appreciate it. So China, you got about like 5-6 books up here, right?
That's just some of them.
I know you lit. So you said the first one was the risking it all for my hustler.
Right.
Can you speak on risking it all for my hustler?
Alright, so Risking It All for My Hustler is basically my autobiography, damn near.
Okay.
Because 90% of it is true.
So what's this about?
So basically, it's just about, without giving any of the juicy stuff, because if you want to know, you gotta read it.
Nah.
It's just, you know what? It's a story that I feel like every female can relate to. It's just, you know, when we fall in love with a nigga that we think is that nigga, he can show you 1,000 times that he's not, but you're just willing to risk it all. And that's male and female, honestly. Because even for men, you know, maybe not to the same extent, but you get that one chick that you think is popping, you know, she can cook, she got some bomb head, she got some good cooch, like, you willing to be like, you know, look like a sucker a little bit to your boys, depending on what kind of nigga you are.
Yeah.
But, the book is
talking about earlier.
Yeah. Pretty much, you know, I ain't complaining. But it's basically just about how, you know, from a young age, I was kind of living a double life. I went to a good school. I graduated from Boston Latin. You know, I got great grades. You know, I was straight in school. But then it's like when I went home to the hood, it was like I was a whole different person. I mean, the savagery started young in my case. Yeah. But basically, it's just that from Boston to Atlanta, it was like,
Boston to Atlanta. Yeah. You got to give us something, China. Give us something from Boston to Atlanta. Give us a little piece of something.
I mean, towards the end of it, I had my daughter. While I was at Boston Latin, I had my daughter my junior year, and you know, I met a dude that I thought, you know, I was gonna marry. This was this, and he lived in Atlanta. And it was my first year of college, and I took my daughter at 18 and was like, I'm moving to Atlanta. And I moved to Atlanta. And
that's what you know, all by itself.
Yeah, well, that was where, you know, I was doing a little, it was like, I worked my way up with the risk. It was like, all right, maybe I risk skipping school. Maybe I risk my mama kicking my ass because I came home at 11. I was supposed to be there at 10. And then, you know, by the end of that first book, it was like, I'm moving to a whole nother state. Like,
so hold on, so we talking about like a 16, 17-year-old China?
It starts, the very first thing starts with me being 14.
14?
Yes.
But how old was you when you moved to the A?
18.
18?
Yes.
So 18 years old, starting your life over.
1,000 miles away.
How long was you out there?
6 months.
And what was you trapping? Heroin, coke? Let's get into it.
You know what? The funny thing is,
yourself.
I was, you know what? You know, the funny thing was, I wasn't even, I was still innocent in that book. It doesn't sound like it, and you wouldn't think it, but once you get to like the second book, that's where like, that book was a hard one for me to write, because that was when I realized that it wasn't what I thought it was.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And by the time you get to the third book, you're like, oh damn, I don't never want to come across that bitch. She's a savage. Like, she don't even, she's like on some other shit. So it was just a journey for me. But you know, by the time you get to that third book, you'll just see how I evolved and how I grew into who I am today.
Yeah.
You know, I still got the savage in me because of the shit I went through in the first and the second book. But overall, it just made me a better woman, and I'm just Ray Charles to the bullshit.
Yeah,
seriously.
Man, that's right. That go back to what Sniz was saying earlier, as to how like we like basically brought that fucking the wave of these women being savages. We kind of caused that shit on ourselves. But let's talk about that shit. You know, with the whole within the books, you know, putting your life in the books. Like, there's people who try to give advice in books and everything like that. Got a guy named Steve Harvey who wrote a book years ago talking about Think Like a Man. You know what I'm saying? And basically trying to give women rules on how to live and how to get a man and shit like that. First off, what makes a man credible? Like, because a lot of women went and read that book. You know what I'm saying? I understand, like, you want to think from a man's perspective and shit. But what makes a man credible to give you that type of advice on how to live and how to meet men and how to live with men and shit like that? Especially when a nigga then divorced like 2-3 times or some shit. Not to share him, but what makes a man credible to do some shit like that? And who would you listen to?
Now, I read that book and it was a bunch of bullshit to me. That's just my opinion. But for me, can't nobody outside of the nigga that I'm laying next to tell me how I should be thinking like or living like or anything. But that's what females fuck up. They want to take advice from everybody else except the nigga that they should be listening to. You trying to adapt to how he think you should be when you should be adapting to the nigga that you laying next to.
Okay.
So, but there's not even a female that is credible enough to tell you how to be in your relationship because they're not the person that's sleeping with that person. So it's like my mother can tell me like, oh, you know, she can guide me and give me guidelines, but overall the communication needs to be between me and my significant other, and that's what we lack today. People don't communicate with each other. They listen to what everybody else is saying. There's no book, just like there's not a book to tell you how to be a mother. Now I'm a single mother of 2.
Yeah.
So, you know, people can tell me all day, you should do this with your kid, you should do that, da-da-da. Just like my mother. People was telling her all day what to do with me. And my mother was a great mother, and I still was a teenage mother. And it had nothing to do with her.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with thinking like a man or being a woman. It's just some shit that you gotta go through to get through. Like, you're not gonna, no one's gonna be able to tell you how to do that. You just gotta go through some shit and either you'll learn or you're gonna fail. But that's the person. It's not,
facts.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, listen, you speaking nothing but facts, but what stuck out to me about what you just said was it's about who I'm dealing with.
Right.
What makes him happy. 'Cause
Right.
every man ain't the same. We're all different.
Exactly.
So instead of reading a book on how to deal with men, you should be trying to deal with your dude. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, in that book, the nigga said some shit like, a woman should wait like 30 days or something before she sleep with her man and shit like that. I know, because when he said that shit, I wanted to tell all women, don't listen to this nigga. You might lose the man of your dreams by listening to that shit. You know what I'm saying? Or you might wait 30 days and then find out that you wasted your fucking time.
Right.
Because you can't deal with this nigga in the bedroom if you can't deal with in the bedroom, whatever.
Right.
So it's like, there's been situations where it's like, my closest people has been something that I didn't expect.
Right.
It started off as something least expected.
Right.
And when you grow, you make grown person decisions.
Exactly.
Like, how does making someone wait, nigga, affect? You know what I'm saying? That's why I knew the nigga was simping.
Can't put a time on love.
You can't, right?
Oh, that was sweet.
You can't put a time limit on love, because sometimes, like, there's people who grow into it, you know what I'm saying? Like, literally, I know that because you could be dealing with somebody that you don't even see like that.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
But after a while, it's like, you're my, you know what I'm saying? You're my everything, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man.
Person asked for a loan.
That's a no for me.
Yeah, I kind of love you, but until see, that's the problem with today's love. Is kind of a fugazi thing, because you're in love, but then when there's a business or a bill that's in the way, do I really love you that much because you're fucking on my thing? But we was in love, and so it's like, yo, hold on, you know what I'm saying? What happened to that? You know what I'm saying? To that real love shit. We just fighting this little problem, this money situation. It's just a money situation. Right. It's not a love thing. So let me borrow that. Without, you know what I'm saying? And without you chastising me for it, and then we can move on, and then later on I will pay you so much more without you even wanting to charge me. You know what I'm saying? Because I will do it out of my will, because I love you that much. But that's the problem with today, is that females, you see that look you give me?
Because this sounds like you just got your tax money. Let me flip that for you.
No. No, the trust in this era is like minimal to none.
Let me flip that tax.
No, I agree with you. So fuck it. We're gonna get back into that conversation because you brought it back up. We had the conversation off air. My point, this is how I look at marriage. And I hope I change the culture when I say this too. Back in the day, marriage meant what's yours is mine, what's mine is yours. This is ours. It's no such thing as separate now. We're one entity, right? That's what marriage was. But nowadays, marriage is like, in the savage era, people only get married because they know they have the option to get divorced. It's never no to death do us part type shit. So when I think of marriage, I'm not going to get married until I'm prepared to say, you know, like if Al, Mr. Flat Earth needs like 5 racks to start a business, and I'm married, I can't just give him that 5 racks because it's not my 5 racks. It's me and my wife's 5 racks. So I'm gonna go to her and say, babe, homie needs this. Should we invest in that? You know what I'm saying? We got to make those decisions together. So it's not. So I don't consider anything shouldn't be alone between. You know what I mean? Because it's like. But the new era, I understand you, and this is what it is. It's like you got to really protect yourself in this new era because you really can't even trust your husband or your wife. You really can't with anything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like everything's a fucking
So
business.
you can't trust them. Why even go that route?
That's my point. That's my point.
Marriage. Because at the end of the day, y'all can all have your separate businesses. If y'all decide to split and y'all getting a divorce, y'all both get half regardless.
Yo,
Yeah, but that's the business part. What you say?
the system set us up to fail, man.
Facts.
No bullshit, because that's why they put Valentine's Day right around tax season. You know what I'm saying? We in love, we fucking, we got large lumps of money, and we fucking it up, man. We got a bunch of November babies, a lot of Scorpios later on fucking shit up. You know what I mean?
Say something about that.
Yeah.
That tax season shit only works when
Every
it's tax
time.
season. And black motherfuckers really go spend their tax money on them shits, nigga. Every tax season. Every tax season, my nigga.
I did not notice that.
Every tax season.
And Jay-Z be the first one to tell you, nigga, credit's more important.
Finessing.
They finessing like a motherfucker.
Same time last year.
If I pay, what is it like? I think it's like $3,600 for the 4 seats.
Yeah.
I'm them fucking twins' godfather.
Facts.
$3,600.
I'm coming to the birthday party. I'm coming to the birthday party.
And I want to shout out.
Yo, I just noticed how they finesse it. So that's crazy because you got these niggas but you got homegirl Beyonce who Miss Formation, and you got Mr. 444 preaching how to fucking whatever, saying all of that.
Nah.
Yeah, what's better than tricking on somebody in the club? Credit. Nigga, how can I build credit if you gonna charge me $1,300? Let me $1,300. $3,600
for like 4 seats. Yeah.
That's why you
That's
that's for the pair or each?
Each.
Oh, $7,200.
Okay, so $7,200.
That's a down payment.
Please tell me I'm meeting Jay, going to dinner with Jay.
I'm his hype man, my nigga. I'm the hype man for $3,600.
That's
For real.
Nigga said, nigga, that comes with a microphone, nigga.
I'm for the okie doke last year. I'm over this year.
Yeah.
As soon as I looked at the date, I'm like, wait a minute, I just did my taxes yesterday.
And they know everybody can afford it at that time. And they know, and that's the thing.
Gotta
Because I wanted to talk about that earlier with black businesses and shit, but they know we spend the most money. They capitalizing on their own people. I'm not accusing them of anything, but you know when it's tax season, we turn into Mr. Ferragamo, Mr. Louis.
Now I'm still broke. You know what?
Super ballers. Now I'm a whole fan, so that's why I go to his concerts, but they do that on the run tour every tax season. Anytime Beyonce's on tax season. Yeah. They know black people gonna be like, yeah, I just got $7,200 instead of investing this towards something. Tickets, and we're black people, 4 seats, they won't bring the furs, all that shit.
Mr. 444, Mr. Finesse, he ain't changed since the 90s, son. Alright, I give it to him.
He came into the game 900 grand strong, dog. Straight off the street. We can't knock the man for his hustle though.
Alright, but Pete, so let's go into this era's version of Jay-Z. Drake, right? He came out with a new video. Y'all seen that new video?
Yeah.
The Nice for What joint?
Yeah, that was lit.
You like it?
I like it.
How you feel about it? What's your first reaction to it?
I thought it was cute or whatever. I mean, I was happy that he didn't only include just black women, and that's not to be offensive to black women, love black women, but I feel like there's a lot of that going on, and I would have felt like he was kind of jumping on the bandwagon with it a little bit. So I thought it was nice that he included a little bit of everybody. Some of the people, right? Some of the people I was like, who the hell is that? But you know, that's just me. I barely watch TV. I'm such a bookworm. But I thought it was. I mean, it's Drake. That's just Drake. Like,
yo, is Drake like the new God MC? Like,
he's a talented man. I respect it. The thing I caught about the video, this is like his second video that I caught, he ain't put no like video vixens. Like how everybody It's like the second video that that Hotline Bling joint, he did the same thing, no video vixens. So he's doing God's so Drake's on something. He's taking us somewhere. I fuck with the video. It's tough. I like it.
And you know what's dope about what's going on with what he's doing? The song's not even all that.
It's not.
Nah.
The song's like
I just watched
I fuck with because he sampled Lauryn Hill.
I like the Lauryn Hill.
So that's why, you know what I mean? So
the song's trash, but I love the.
It's gonna be a summer banger. They already killing it.
And plus, what he did, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, with the whole putting all the women in there who's doing something, like Tracy Ellis Ross, like, yo, bro. How old is she?
42, I think.
That's not old. 40's not old. 40's not old. Yeah, 40.
44, rap the corner from 40.
Whoa, no, nobody around the corner from 40. 40's a while for all of us, bro. 40's a while for all of us. But, yeah, like I rocks with Drake. Like I said, he did he takes weak shit, but he knows if it's weak, he knows how to make it strong. He took that nice for what shit and put all those people in there. But like he's doing his part right now with the guys playing with all that other stuff. As far as like the media, music, movies, and all that, how you feel like women in all cultures being represented?
Lord, right now I got a headache because all these bitches is talking about Cardi B.
That's why
I don't. You know what? I don't even knock Cardi. I really don't. Like, I'm not a hater or a lover of Cardi.
Right.
I can respect that.
You sound like
she is ratchet, and she was ratchet before she became a rapper, and she's still ratchet now. Real is real with me.
Yeah.
So if she just continues to be herself, I ain't got a problem with her.
Yeah.
But she gonna have a lot of bitches single this summer if they sitting here listening to this album and like I was listening to the album a couple days ago.
Okay. So hold on, what name something that she said that would make a chick single? Because I didn't listen to the album, so I don't know.
Let me think. She in one of the songs she was talking about even like that Be Careful joint.
Yeah, I heard that song.
Yeah,
I heard the homie who rapped that shit before.
Yeah, but there's another song on there where she's talking about. I think she said she slept with his brother or something like that. It was just some wild shit. I can't listen because it was so ratchet. I was like, I can't even listen.
But what about SZA? What about SZA?
Oh, that Weekend shit. That's for me. She don't really. I can't take her seriously because I feel like she just singing and she ain't about that life. Like I can't. Maybe she is. Maybe she's an underground thought and I just can't see it.
Yeah.
But I don't take that type of stuff seriously. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Like now, Cardi, if she say something, I'm actually gonna believe she might do
she's credible. She's credible.
Right. You know what I mean? So I feel like. Everyone was getting all worked up over the Weekend shit and all of that, whatever. Like, if a bitch want to take a chance and be the Weekend bitch, that's on you. That's what you do. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with my nigga and you be good. But, Cardi, when Cardi says stuff, I feel like females kind of embrace it. Like she's Beyonce or something. You know how to be high.
Well, she surpassed Beyonce now. She's getting there. They giving her that crown. She's doing her thing. I don't know that because I followed her from when she was a stripper.
Me too.
You can see her on Love and Hip Hop, and now she's doing her thing with the music. People might say she sucked, but she's eating. Right. I don't know nobody who's eating. She's eating and she's doing. She came from the bottom, so I support it.
This is when I knew it was official that Cardi is like you said, like up there with Beyonce. I came to work and one of my friends at work was like, yo, you seen Cardi did the reveal on SNL?
Yeah.
I'm like, did a reveal on SNL?
Yeah.
She let me not bring up her past. But I'm like, Cardi B, she's Cardi B, nigga. On SNL, like really showing her, like that's lit. So
Oprah co-signed her, cuz.
Oprah was like, listen to that new Cardi B. I was like, really? Oprah heard it before me?
Yeah, like that's major.
Oprah, like Oprah like that though?
I don't, but when people like compare where somebody is, it's like if Oprah fuck with you, if Obama fuck with you, like you doing you, like you getting acknowledged
Here's my deal with Oprah. I don't fuck with Oprah at all. I don't like her or whatever. I just don't because
the color purple.
Because you told Paul to hit me. Hold on. I don't fuck with Oprah because like back in the day she didn't fuck with hip hop at all, man. She was anti everything about the hip hop culture and shit. You know what I mean? So then she gets her own network. And that's the first time that she had rappers on her shit that she wasn't having on there just to disrespect and talk about hip hop. Her ratings were going down, so she went and got 50, threw him on there, did an interview. Went and got Jay, threw him on there, got an interview. Now everybody seeing like Oprah just been with the culture forever. She wasn't fucking with niggas. Now you saying she picking up Cardi B? Fuck her, she fake as shit.
Feel like it. People do it every day.
Yeah, that's part of life. You know that.
People do it every day. Hey, you gotta accept people who they are.
We gotta accept the fake bullshit nowadays, man, because that's all it is, and that's what kind of hurts for the real niggas, man. Because we sitting here.
It's hard.
But that's why I stay focused, and I hate to keep repeating it all the time, but you gotta keep trying to influence the young and try to, because those are the ones that
That's the new generation.
So when you gotta, when you see your young doing some fake corny shit, expose it, call it out, tell them why it's whack, and tell them, show them the alternative of some real shit.
I know that's right.
So you know what I'm saying, you implement that shit in their head and be like, this is why it's corny. See? Or then you put on some Cardi B. You be like, that shit's corny. You know what I'm saying? You put on some cool. Right, but you gotta show. You gotta understand to a fucking 9-year-old girl. You gotta be like, listen, this right now is not for you. You gotta understand that she took a whole different path, and that was her path. This is.
That's a fact.
We don't want this. You shouldn't strive for this. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
So this is why it's our job at home. As soon as we start making babies, to fucking change it. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna change our niggas. We ain't gonna change our friends. You know what I'm saying? We're not changing anybody because we ate too much of the bullshit. We ate too much of that processed bullshit and watched too much of that shit. It's all implemented in our minds so much. So we gotta recognize it and be like, alright, cool. They fucking with us.
Right.
Let me start talking to you about this real shit. And take a walk in the park some more, and not just don't just let your little man play with the fucking video games. Go walk in the park, talk. Right. You know what I'm saying?
actually, like,
don't know what's real out here. You gotta let them know what's real out here.
Let them know what's real and what's fake. You know what I'm saying? You have to show them what's reality because they're stuck in virtual reality right now. And I saw a little.
Definitely.
So crazy.
It's gonna come a point where the next generation of the podcasts, right? They're not gonna be able to press pause on that shit, bro. Because they're all gonna be stuck home playing this ill-ass Fortnite version game, nigga, that's too fucking lit to even move, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And that's fucking scary.
That was Halo for me, man.
That's like that Disney movie that came out years ago, nigga. That Wall-E shit.
I'm glad.
That movie's a great movie.
Go take a hike in the park. Climb a mountain. Yo, climb a mountain. That shit'll fucking expose your mind like you never even thought of a fucking game where, nigga. Man, listen, I can't stand video games anymore because of that shit. Climb a mountain.
I haven't touched the PS4.
If you can't climb that mountain the first time, climb it again the next time.
I got both of them just paying 60 for the year, don't even turn them on.
Yo, bro, I haven't bought a game.
Once I finish 2K, I gotta wait till September to turn my shit back on.
That's why I stopped buying games because I was literally only buying like 2K and Madden. But, alright, cool. Now, that shit was lit. But, Oprah. Like you said, she's fake, and we gotta deal with the fake shit, you know what I'm saying? But we do gotta give her props, because like we had the early conversation, Oprah is a fucking pioneer. Yeah. She was the first savage, you know what I'm saying? She was the first person to have a nigga by her side for years, and not marry the nigga. Just on some nigga, she had the first safari. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. You just stand there and look pretty next to me, my nigga. You don't say shit. Yeah, you just dick. Like you're in-house dick, my nigga. So let's give her props. She the first savage. She was doing this shit in the 80s, dog. Like, girls just got hip in the 2000s, dog.
I'm clapping for that shit.
Not to get off topic.
No. Everything's off topic. Go ahead, bro.
How y'all feel about them fucking with Bill Cosby again, man? I feel like they fuck with him just like people call me conspiracy, whatever you want. Like how they I feel like they persecuted Michael Jackson because he was trying to own this shit and he was trying to buy Sony and they wasn't letting him. And Bill Cosby was trying to buy NBC, CBS. He has the brethren, but they weren't trying to let him do that. So now all these raid and thing. Our fucking president is fucking
facts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Bill getting more scrutiny. He's not even
This is our president. I mean, when's the last time you seen a new episode of Bill Cosby, The Cosby Show? You know what I mean? And they fucking with this man. He's like, what, 70, 80, damn near 80 something years old. They fucking with him. Like, come on.
They got nothing better to do.
Alright, so
They're just trying to ruin it.
Yeah, they trying to fuck with, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like the same thing I said. I feel like that's what they did to Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was trying to buy, he owned his shit, and he was trying to buy the thing, and it wasn't, so they, you know.
that's what happened. That
And
is
his
basically
sleep-
Black Wall Street.
Yeah,
It's basically
come
what the
on.
government
Yeah.
does to every black person who tries to go above
Exactly.
what they allow you to do.
Right. You stop right here. That was it.
All black people got together, had their own banks, their own stores, and everything like that.
And he brought the Beatles, if niggas didn't know.
Michael Jackson brought their catalog.
Yeah.
He brought their catalog.
You know what I
Paul
mean? So,
McCartney had
yeah.
beef with Michael
For
because
a
of that
minute,
shit.
yeah.
For a while. Alright, here's how I feel about this Bill Cosby shit. Because I'm not gonna say we all know, but we bumped into some savage niggas who's capable of doing some shit like that.
Yeah.
And obviously, Bill Cosby come from an era where that's just not frowned upon. Like, you look at old movies, there's rape in most all old movies.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
They party hard.
Yeah, they party hard. So, my thing is this, to discredit him and to fuck up his image because he's trying to live amongst his he's trying to like own some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Take away their ownership. I agree with that. But they only doing that because they have shit on him. What I'm saying is, this Hollywood shit allows you to get to a certain level. You gotta play ball.
Yeah.
So there's dirt on most of all of these
All
niggas.
these stuff,
But once you start to do some shit that they're like, okay, you getting a little too big for your britches, that's when they hit you with the dirt. So that's why I feel like some of this shit could be true on Cosby. But he played ball for so many years. Once he got to the point where it's like, okay, cool, I want to be at y'all level, they was like, okay, now we hit you with the dirt. And we gonna see that with mostly all these niggas that we look up to, like Diddy.
Yeah.
Best believe.
When he get,
Diddy got some shit, some dirt that people are just holding on to, and that's why Diddy could only make jokes about buying the Carolina Panthers. I knew that nigga was joking when he said that shit, because if you really wanted to buy him, you don't say that shit on social media, my nigga. You don't talk about it. Real niggas move in silence. You make it happen, then you announce it. I'm the new owner of the Carolina Panthers. You don't fucking get online and say, the first thing I'm gonna do is sign Colin Kaepernick. Nigga, you fucking stupid.
Trying to get people
You must think I'm
riled up.
stupid.
And then the next post after that was some fucking Ciroc shit.
I did the opposite way to put all my dirt out there.
Nigga, I had a sip of some Ciroc for years,
Nobody gonna be
nigga.
able
I
to
gave
get
that
it.
Coca-Cola up years ago.
Yeah, so we about to shut down the shop right now.